Hello, brilliant minds. Welcome to Grade Syllabus Hub. I am your teacher Rabia Huma Imtiaz. Today we are exploring the legendary life of Roald Amundsen, the first explorer to reach both the North and South Poles. This lesson shows us the value of careful planning, resilience, and learning from others. The moral of our story is that success comes to those who prepare well and treat every challenge as a lesson to grow stronger. Let us begin. Roald Amundsen was born in Norway in 1872. As a child, he read about famous British explorers. He joined as many sports teams as he could and slept with his windows wide open despite the freezing cold Norwegian winters, so that he would be fit, strong, and ready if he got the chance to be an explorer. Amundsen's family worked in the shipping industry, but his mother wanted him to avoid the dangers of a life at sea, so she encouraged him to be a doctor. He obeyed his mother's wishes while continuing to read about explorers. When he was 21 years old, his mother died. Amundsen left university and began his life as an explorer. Some of Amundsen's achievements: he was the first to pass through the Northwest Passage in the Arctic Ocean. He was in the first expedition to reach the South Pole on December 14, 1911. In 1926, he led a successful expedition to the North Pole. He is recognized as the first person to have reached both poles. In early expeditions, Amundsen was part of the crew. He watched, listened, and learned some useful skills. Once on a ship trapped in ice, he observed how the doctor's hunting skills provided the crew with fresh meat and kept them free from scurvy. Scurvy is a disease caused by a lack of vitamin C. It can lead to illness, the loss of teeth, and death from bleeding. When he was 28 years old, Amundsen became the leader of expeditions with his own ship, Gaye. The ship is still on display at the Fram Museum in Oslo. From 1903 to 1906, Amundsen took a crew of 6 men on Gaye on an expedition to find a route through the Northwest Passage. The Northwest Passage is the name of the sea route through the Arctic Ocean from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Due to the very cold temperatures, the area is frozen over most of the time. For a short while each year, the ice around the land in the north of Canada can break up enough to allow vessels through. Gaye was small enough to pass through these waters and over the shallow areas that would have wrecked bigger ships. During the winters when the ship was frozen into ice, the crew watched the Inuit who lived there and picked up important Arctic survival skills, such as using dogs to travel by sledge. These were useful on later expeditions to the North Pole. Amundsen also stocked up on furs to wear, which were much warmer than the woolen clothes he had. Getting to the North Pole was a challenge. First, Amundsen tried to go by ship, but it got stuck in ice. He had to think of another way to achieve his goal and decided to travel by plane. The first attempt in 1925 was dangerous and unsuccessful. Finally, in 1926, Amundsen made it to the North Pole. 3 other people claim to have got to the North Pole before Amundsen, but all of these have been disputed. Amundsen's skills and perseverance made him the first person to be able to claim that he had been to both poles. He said that his successes came from proper preparation and having appropriate equipment. He said victory awaits him who has everything in order. Amundsen wrote about his experiences in his autobiography, My Life as an Explorer. One day 2 of the boys and I were standing on the deck when one of them exclaimed, "There is a caribou." He pointed to a small black object just on the skyline of one of the encircling hills. The other man, who had the best vision of the 3, looked steadfastly at the black object for a moment and then turned to his companion and said, "That caribou walks on 2 legs." Sure enough, close scrutiny confirmed his quick perception that this was not a caribou but an Eskimo. Some other 2-legged caribous joined the first until 5 figures were outlined against the sky. Then they advanced toward us in a body. I sent the 2 boys for their rifles, and then the 3 of us advanced to meet them. I was in the lead, and behind me came my little army of 2. As the Eskimos neared us, we could see they were all armed with bows and arrows. This began to look like a ticklish situation. We had no way of knowing whether their intentions were friendly or hostile. Certainly they were equipped for war. However, there was nothing to do but meet them face to face. The 2 parties proceeded to within about 15 paces and then halted. I then turned to my army and instructed them ostentatiously to throw their rifles on the ground. I then turned to the Eskimos. Their leader, seeing this pacific move, imitated it by turning to his followers and uttering a command. They obeyed by throwing their bows and arrows on the ground. I was unarmed and advanced toward them. The Eskimo leader also came out alone. It is remarkable how accurately two men can communicate who do not speak a word of a common language, and whose whole experience of life seems utterly separated from each other's. Expressions of the face, nods and shakes of the head, gestures, and tones of the voice convey meaning with astonishing accuracy. By these means I quickly convinced this Eskimo leader that I wished to be his friend, and he reciprocated my wish. Soon we were all friendly, and I invited them down to our ship. In June 1928, age 55, Amundsen was traveling in a plane on a rescue mission when he disappeared. Amundsen and the rest of the crew were never seen again.